Okay, so working with dates in Business Central can be a daunting task, especially the date formulas, the date format, and you may end up not getting the right results based on your understanding on dates. In this video, we are going to look at how to easily understand working with dates.
Hii ni Tech na Msangi ya jishinde.com.
So there's a nice article, I'll share the link to this, on how to enter dates and time in Navision. I have created a submodule here. I call it tester list. So when you click on new, it will enable us to do several tests on dates and time. So like we'll use the date formula, and we'll also use the date time and the duration for this submodule here. So one thing we need to understand, we have the date format. The date format is based on the region that has been set, either in the user personalization or here under my settings. So mine is English United States. Okay, so I'm in Kenya, but this is the date formula that will be used. It is month, day, year. So if I change this to maybe English for United Kingdom, just search it, the date will be different. It will be day, month, year, and this will be reflected in all your dates. As you enter the dates, you'll reflect the date format of the region that you have set it to. So let me click on OK, and it is refreshing because it's doing some updates. So when I go back to my settings, the work date here is showing day, month, year. It's already changed the date formula with a slash in it. So you should be keen. That's why you can change the date formula. Okay, the date format, not the date formula. Pardon me for that. Okay, now let's go to entering dates. In Navision, there is something that we need to understand about some key shortcuts like T. T is today. Okay, in Business Central, not Navision. Let me reopen my date tester list. So basically what I've done with this date tester, when I click on new, if I say okay, where was I? If I say the date formula is 1 day and then I put today as a date, it will just add today automatically for me here. This one will use it later on, but let's proceed. So okay, we can use the work date. Work date is W. So the work date is set here also in my settings. You have seen when I was setting the name. Let me just recap. The work date is set under this my settings. So if you have transactions that haven't been posted, maybe on a particular date, so many transactions, you can set that work date so that when you're posting, you just put W and it will give you that work date. And yes, the W will give you a work date, or WO. So here it's calculating 1 day from the work date. Okay, it is self-explanatory because it's 1D. D is for day. Okay, the today or T or TOD will give you today's date, the current date on the client. Mine is 2nd of let me do 2. It is the 2nd of January 2022. So it is just giving me today's date when I do T. Same for date time. If I do T, it will give me today's date with 0 time. Same for time, it will give me the current time when I key in the T there. My current time is that. Duration doesn't have T, but it can have 2 hours. Yes. 2h for 2 hours. Okay, let's move. So you can use the day, week, year pattern to maybe using the if you want to use the week number. Let's say you want to say the Monday, okay, like this example is the 25th, the Monday of week 25th, the 25th week of the year. So if I do this, it will give me, okay, this one is not in the range of the license. Let me just say Monday 2. So the second Monday of the year of the work date is this. That is the date. Like the second Monday, I can say, of the current year is on 10th of January 2022. So when you specify, let's say Tuesday, and okay, the second Tuesday of 2022, so it will give me the date of the second Tuesday of 2022. Yeah, that's a key shortcut. I haven't used it so much, but it's something that you can explore. Okay, the digit pattern can also be used, but there is something here. The range is between 1930 and 2029. If the date lies between those two ranges, you can use the 2-year digit. Otherwise, the years should be 4-year digit. Should be a full year. So for instance, here I can say 01/01/22. It will give me 2022. But if it's now past, if it's 2029, I can't do that, because it will okay, after 2029 it will, the 30, let me say 01/01/30, it will detect, okay, 2030. So these guys are not saying the truth, Microsoft, in their documentation, but whatever, that is what they have stated. I didn't test that, I've just discovered. But again, maybe the safest way is to have the full 4-digit here, and you're sure, because these dates are key. Okay, let's proceed with the closing date. And technically, when you're closing the fiscal year, we usually use the C, closing date. And maybe when you're closing last year, we'll use the C here for the close of the fiscal year. And the C, okay, this one cannot be used. It will be used in a journal, but technically it takes a date in between. It's a date that will, they're saying, in between the closing date, like you can say 31st of December and January. Technically it's something similar to that. And this, in the system, it's a date that is in between two dates. So it's not a date, it's a virtual date in a way, because it's closing the year, because you're saying the close of the year is this date. So any transaction that has been done on 31st of December, for instance, that transaction will not be seen as a C, but the C transaction will, the one that is closing, is just after, but not into the next date. It is just there. Okay, and then we have spoken about using the T and all that, and the digits. I can explore, maybe if you want if you want to use to have the Monday of the work date, current work date, or the Tuesday, or the Wednesday. So Thursday, I think Thursday has to be TH, because T is also for today. Yeah, T, Thursday, okay, Monday, Tuesday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, Friday, I haven't seen Friday. Yeah, Saturday of the work date. So the work date is key here when you are using these shortcuts to get that particular date. So time, again, the best way is to use the 24-hour format, because it will give you the best the best result. So if it's let's say I'll say 17. Okay, this is an example. 5 will give you 5 a.m. and you can use another example here. 12p is supposed to be 12 noon as per the example. 12p or 12a, that's 12 am or saa sita. Okay, 12 am, saa sita usubuhi. Okay, finally entering date times. Now again you can use spaces and use the date format and the time format, but you separate it with the space. That is the easiest explanation. Like for instance, this is the date, t will give you today, and then okay, this time, let's say t 17:30. This one automatically gives me today at 5:30 p.m. Easiest example. So the format that you have been using on the dates now plus a space, and then the time format in 24-hour clock. 24-hour clock is the best that I've seen work for me. Avoid the PM and AM, maybe they can be confusing, but you can explore and see which best works for you. And then the duration here gives you like this 2H is 2 hours, and 2D is 2 days, 6 hours, and all that. Okay, date ranges, another key thing. Okay, I don't have a date filter example here, which I forgot to add, but the date range is like if you want a range from one date to the next, it's always inclusive of all the, okay, it's inclusive of the start date and the end date. And then again you can use a combination of or, like this example says between this date and this date, then it's either on this date and this date, and then from there up to now this other range. Yeah, okay, no, it's between, it's either this date or this range. This is an or sign, and then here we have before this date or on or after this date. Yes, that is an example of a range. The range is always we always use dot dot or greater than sign to specify a range, or less than, or the or the and. The and is the ampersand. Okay, now let's go to date formulas. One of the most exciting thing. Date formulas will make it dynamic for you to be able to create a date from a date. Like let me say for instance, the grace period for maybe a customer. If you want when the due date of the reminding the customer has been reached, but you want to give the customer a grace period, and you really want to have an accurate grace period when you're doing the setup, the date formula is something to master, to understand how to set it up. Otherwise you may end up sending reminders on wrong days without you knowing. So okay, one key here is C. C is for current, like CM. This is the current month, or okay, CM, this is the current month but the end of the month. Okay, what is this? So the current month, so I've put the CM gives you the end of the month. So the input date is the 2nd of January 2022, but now the end of the month is 31st. So minus CM minus the current month will always give me now the beginning of the current month. D is for days, we have checked that. W is for weeks. M is for months. Q is for quarter, and Y is for year. Now when we are adding let me say 5 days, 5 days from today, it will add 5 days inclusive of the date, inclusive of the day. Like it will add, let me say, it will go to the 6th day. It will if you want, let's say, the exact 5 days inclusive of today, I don't know if my English was right there, you need to say minus 1 day to get the accurate result. Okay, let me change this to first, it will make more sense. So you can see it is now going to the 5th, but I've done 5 days minus 1 day, or you say 4 days, it will give you the same result. But if you put it as 5 days, it will go to the 6th day, like it will just add the first day plus 5, and will go to the 6th day of the month. I'd rather, okay, let's go back here. We have another thing. What is it? Okay, the current week, current month, okay, 10 days from today. There's another interesting formula here, D10. So if I use this formula, what will it give me? It will give me the 10th day, the next 10th day of the month from this date, because I'm using an input date here in my result. So if my input date is after 10th, the next 10th day is 10th of February 2022. Okay, and then okay, the other thing I wanted to show is be very careful with, yeah, like we've said, if you want the 10th day of a certain date, very careful. And then if you want now the end month, for instance, this is 1M will give me the end month, but now let me use February as an example. February 28th, huh? So 1 month from February is March 28th. Yes, it's true, it's March 28th, but in my mind, when I add 1 month from the last day of the month, I expect to get 31st of March. So it's always safe to add the CM that will give me the end of the current month. Like if I'm adding dates and I want to have the end of the current month, I should always add this. Or if I want the beginning of the year, make sure you have -1y, -1y there. Okay, -1y is not the beginning of the year. This is the 1 year from today. -1y minus cy. Now we'll give you the beginning of the year. Always, like when you have this minus cy, will give you the beginning of the year. But if we change it to plus cy, it goes to the end of the year. This formula can have number of combinations. The end, if you want the 10th day after the year starts, you can do something like this, 9D. So you can have as many characters, but the maximum here for the date formula is 20. Yes, there is more we can do with dates, but it's good to have, especially if you're working with the code or you're doing your dates, make sure after you have set the date, test the result. Like what, okay, this is mine to test, but I don't know how you'll be able to find a way of testing to try and figure out the date that it gives you, like what result is it generating, because the date formulas are powerful, but they may not give you the right result if you don't use them well. So if you want more of this, please specify in the comments. And that's it for this video about dates and Business Central. I will see you in the next video. May God bless you.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so that you don't miss the next one.